Hi, everybody. It's Nell Thames, Stamp with Nell at Mount Vernon, Texas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and tonight I'm going to demonstrate a card made with the. We might, if we go to, okay, so let me tell you what's going on here. We have two dogs below me. Everyone was given a treat 20 seconds before I personally went live. It was during that, intro. That's my signal to give them a thing. And then we have the big visiting dog who's, I think, going to become my son's dog. Food aggressive now. Okay. And everybody got a treat. And we have a brand new little kitten. So um, this is the brand new little kitten. She's teeny tiny. She's like a stick of butter. Can you see? Can you see? This is Pumpkin. This is Pumpkin. Woo, David. She's David's cat for sure. I thought she was going to be mine. She's David's. No, it's just I get all the dogs. It's fine. I'm happy with that. Anyway, so before we go into the card is fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. It has only one color of cardstock, so I think you'll be okay with that. And hi, Carol. Hi, Mary. I know, isn't she cute? Happy birth weekend, Mary. Birthday weekend. That's what I meant. Birthday weekend. She's so cute. She's adorable. She's only about 5 weeks old, so she's really, really tiny. If she's a pound, I'd be surprised, but maybe she's 2 pounds. But I don't know. She doesn't feel like more than a pound of butter. So, but she has just been attached to David at the leg, and his leg is a little bit scratched up. She's got some claws, and so we are all trying to get used to each other. And this is the first time she's been in the craft room. So for now, anyway. We're going to make a very simple card. It's only one color of cardstock, 2 colors of ink, and some embossing. So it really simple. It is. What are you pointing at?
We're on now.
What?
We're on your table now.
We're on my table now. What are you talking about? Oh, we're on my table now. Oh, he. Okay, take care of that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. So really simple, so you can see it. It's a little bit dark. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I saw someone else make this, and I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. I know it wasn't a U.S. demonstrator. I actually think it was one of the artisan design team, and so I apologize for not knowing who it was. But she made it with the adoring hearts. Her name is Pumpkin Carol. We thought she was going to be something else. And before she came home, we thought she was going to be Pumpkin. And then when she came, we decided, well, let's just see. And then David's been calling her Pumpkin since we got her yesterday, it's been just a little over 24 hours in this house. So the big dog was the one we were worried about, the big German Shepherd Husky. He's doing okay. The other two are just a little irritated, but they lived with the cat before. We had a cat. We had to put her down. Maybe it's been just about a year, right? She got sick and it was horrible. We lost 2 animals last year or the year before. I can't remember now. Maybe it's 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. 2 animals within about 45 days of each other. It was too much. Okay, so this is let's go to this. The recently back in stock round we go. No worries, Carol. Well, we're getting a black one too. The plan was always to get a black cat and an orange cat. And the black cat was going to be Shadow, but now I'm leaning towards Raven. And so Raven and Pumpkin, it's kind of we got a Halloween theme going on here, I guess. Okay, so round we go, bundle. And which I don't know what I did with it, here it is. I have been using this so much, the Sweetly Scripted. I might have actually named this. Oh, I did name it right. The Sweetly Scripted. I've been using this a ton. This in the last couple of weeks. So I love that you can just make it as a stem. I also doing some embroidering, and I have a lot of flowers like this that have the embroidery, have the some sort of word in the bottom, faith or whatever it is. And so I have several of those. Oh, my son Ethan's coming home. So okay, let's just get started with this. There may be a little bit of chaos. I'm sorry, the door's not shut, David. Okay, so now there's one thing we're going to have to do right off the bat is I have Well, first, let me just get my pieces together because I put them somewhere. I hate when I do that. Since there's no longer very vanilla envelopes, I am going to use a white one for this, but I have, I think, about 100 very vanilla envelopes to use up. So I used it for my sample card just because I need to use them up. And about the only cards I make lately are cards that are going on my blog. So sometimes I got to use the very vanilla. So we have just 4 pieces of cardstock. We have the 5.5 by 8.5 card base scored at 4.25. And then we have 2 pieces of 4 by 5.25. One's going to go on the front, one's going to go on the inside. I am not, even with a light card base, I am not a, yeah, we're definitely set for Halloween, Carol. I am not a fan of not putting a panel here, but you certainly could. You could put a panel, not put a panel here and stamp directly on this. For me, though, I tend to make mistakes when I stamp anyway, and I always like to have that second piece of cardstock. And then this one is just for stamping. This one's about 3 by 4, I think. It was just a 4.25 actually. It was just a scrap that I grabbed, but if you could use something as small as 3 by 3 for these little, whatever they are. I call them petals, but I don't know. And I actually learned something today, and I'm going to show you about it. Show you it when I do my stamping, because I didn't realize this when I made the first card. This is the 3rd time I'm making the card. I actually already sent my original one off, and so I had to remake it real quick, like right beforehand. Okay, so I'm using Highland Heather, and I'm having some, there we go, that's better. And I'm just going to stamp the longer petals. I don't know what to call them. If we could all agree on a name for everything, that would be great, but we can't. So, and I'm going to just put this off over on the other table, leave it still open. I know that's dangerous, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to do the pointed ones in between. And there is a way I feel like these don't necessarily fit. If you keep rotating it, eventually you'll find the right fit. There it is. But I'm sure it does actually fit. I'm just not. Okay, we're just going in. We're going for it. We're just going to call it, because nobody wants to watch me repeatedly. I could have probably stamped that a little. All right. And then I'm going to bring the Highland Heather back in. I'm sorry, this was Daffodil Delight. This yellow is Daffodil Delight. I am a fan of purple and gold. And so that was what I used. So then what I figured out today is that this little center on the last card, I just left it open because I did not realize that this little dot, can you see this little dot? Yes, you can. Oh, you can't. You can see this little dot. It actually fits in the center here. Oh my gosh, who would have known? And let me tell you what, does that complete the flower or what? Of course it does. Okay, sorry. I was like, it was kind of a duh moment for me, because just duh. What's wrong? Okay. All right. So I have to admit that I have both the mini and the standard size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines out. Now, don't forget that the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines right now are 10% off with the bundle sale. So don't forget. So I'm going to, I know I don't usually do this on camera, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm using the white one goes on the bottom, and then this number 2 plate, this white one is the number 1 plate. I know it is so fun, and I just got mine right before they went out of stock, and so I have been playing with it a bit, just a bit. And then so there's 2 number 2s, and they go on top of each other. So number 1 on the bottom, number 2 on the top. You do have to I tend to give it a little push with my forearm. Sometimes I can get it in, and it's all fine and dandy, but not always. Okay, so that is that little piece for now. And then we're going to put that off to the side, put my little sticky back for the next time I need it. And we'll move the embossing machine this way. I think I left the other one back there. All right, so before we finish with we're going to need both sides of the sizes of embossing machine. I just wanted to show you that these dies, of course, fit in the mini. Um, in my opinion, most dies do. It might be all dies, I don't know, but I use my mini quite a bit. But the embossing folders usually don't. So that's why we're going to need the big one. So here we go. So now here's I've run into an issue with this because I would use the I block to you for the happy birthday, the stem, but it's not sold anymore. Hi, Amy. Nice to see you. No worries. You just missed all my chatting and my aha moment. You'll have to go back and watch it. So I would use, if it were me, I would use the I block, but we don't have it anymore. And I can't do, the F block is just too big for my hand. So I brought out the Stampin' Cut and Emboss, I brought out a stamp positioning tool because I have to have something that holds this really long sentiment. And the sentiment is just too long for me to hold in my hand. And I tried the littler block. I can't remember what that one is off the top of my head. That we do still have. I think it's the H block, and it just didn't quite work for me. So the idea is I already have this positioned at 2, but I noticed from my last card that I need to move this down a tish because I didn't want it as high as it was. Now I probably have Highland Heather on my so yeah, I need it to be down lower. Most of these sentiments, oh, I didn't take my thing down. Most of the sentiments from the Sweetly Scripted can be used this way. The Round We Go is a little bit big at this big flower, but I think you could use, if you die cut the littler ones, I think that would work. And I lost my stuff. What did I lose? I lost my, there it is. Okay, so I am going to use Highland Heather for the happy birthday, and I'm going to move this for fear that I will stamp on it or just lay my ink on it, because that's what we do. Well, that's not what we should do. That's what I do. Okay. And so all I'm making sure is that this happy birthday is actually going to fit in the middle here. It can go a little higher, but this is all of this I think is going to be hidden by the pinwheely flower thing. Okay. And one advantage, in my opinion, it's not my opinion. Many people have said this. So in many people's opinion, to the stamp positioning tool is that you can stamp more than once. And then I have this fun little hockey pucky thing, air hockey puck thing, to rub with, just to make sure that, and there we go, we get a nice, pretty deeper color. All right, so I'm going to move this. This one happens to be the Misty. I think most people know what the Misty looks like, but just so you know, that's what I was using. And now I'm going to use the Zinnia 3D embossing folder, which means I'm going to use the larger Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I line up with this line here and then close it and try to keep it on the line. I don't know, is the cat in here? Oh yeah. I have this new bigger chair in here because Ethan brought it home from school. It was mine and he brought it home from school. And it's great. It's comfortable, but I'm afraid I'm going to run the cat over. So this is number 1 and number 4, I think. This is, 4. And that's all you need for these 3D embossing folders. So I'm just going to run this through look at this, embossing twice, using the machines twice in a live. Okay. And so now we have the zinnias beautifully embossed. I did that backwards, I think. No, beautifully embossed on the very vanilla. And we'll get rid of all these extra little pieces here, including this. I have a table over here that is just a disaster zone right now. Just a disaster zone. Okay, so now we have this, and we see that this will fit beautifully on the panel, and you still get all of this. Okay, and just a word in case you're wondering why I stamped before, it's because I can't stamp well on something that's 3D. So it's if you stamp it first and then emboss it, it looks better. It works out better. You don't miss half your words, because I would be missing half my words. Okay, so now we're going to have some time to put on some of the half dimensionals I have sitting here, because half dimensionals are the way to go. And then we got even this little edge here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my gosh, it's we are under a heat warning. Last week it wasn't so bad, but I mean it was warm, but boy, it's I didn't even go outside. Well, we went to church, but beyond that, Pixie. I did not. I've not even gone in the pool. I've been in the pool most days, because if you have one, if you've got it, use it, right? Before I put this on dimensionals and put it on the panel, I'm going to use these. I think they're the Purple Fine Shimmer gems. Dun, 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 in Highland Heather. I could probably use Gorgeous Grape too, but we're going to use Highland Heather. And so personally, I am looking for a non-embossed area to put my gems that are still in a triangle. So, so they end up in different places every time I make the card, because I don't always get the embossing in the same place. All right, so that's that. That panel is made. And we're going to move all the little extras out of the way, and we're going to cut our edges with the paper snips. So today in my card, I guess I already cut them. I mentioned the chamois, which is not something I normally mention, and occasionally I will put it on my lists because my card today was a watercolor card, and I use the chamois to clean the water painters after I get most of the ink off them. And I don't know if I am a huge fan of the chamois. I have some chamois that I had personalized by an Etsy seller, which is the same Stampin' Up! Chamois. It's just it's got my name on it. And although I'd let you see it, but it's really dirty. I know, right? It's wow. Carol, that's lucky. You know what? It was warm. It was cool-ish this morning when I went out. And cool-ish is a relative term given how warm it's been. But it is way too warm now. I don't know what it is, but I think they were saying it was supposed to be a heat index of 108. So, and yeah, it's too hot to go out there and just sit in the pool, which is kind of what I do. I'm kind of lazy about it. And but it's like bath water already in June. It's
95. It feels like 104.
Oh, the temperature is? Yeah. What is the pool temperature though? The pool temperature is probably 85, which is quite warm. David usually doesn't get in until it's 81, and David's already been in the pool. 81 meaning the water temperature. Okay, sorry. I've kind of given up taking these off with my pick on camera. I can do it perfectly fine when no one's watching me, but when people are watching me, I tend to tear the foam of the Stampin' Dimensionals. Okay, so there. So that is the front. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Speaking of lemon squeezy, I made a lemon pie today for dinner. What am I looking for? Oh, this. And it was totally easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was a whole lemon, literally the whole letter. Woo! Thunderstorms. I'm grateful we're not having any more of those. Boy, we had some a couple of weeks ago, and they were just regular and frightening. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of barely visible anyway. This is Daffodil Delight, and I'm just stamping these little star thingies. And then we're going to stamp over that. Well, let's hope you're not too dry. I always worry when we have a thunderstorm after we've been very, very dry that it's going to cause a fire. And that's one of my, that was not what I wanted to do. But it still works. Okay. I meant to put that on there full, but it's fine. Oh, and I forgot my thing too. Oh, well, it's fine. It's all fine. And now I'm going to do the Mary thing. Lemon pie. It was so, okay, this was really good. I don't know if you, I read Joanne Fluke books, and she has these incredibly wonderful recipes in her book, usually cookie recipes, but she had this really easy lemon pie recipe. Use a frozen crust and then an entire lemon. You cut off the edges. She calls it like the hard part. Okay, so there's the card. Dun da da da. I'm being very careful not to put. I probably should have turned that over and restamped it just because it's a little light, but you get the drift. It says, "Time to celebrate. Happy birthday. Time to celebrate." Uh-oh. Um, and so okay, it's one medium lemon, she called it, but I ended up buying a large, which wasn't very, I don't know how they could call it large because it was pretty small. And you cut off the edges, the hard part, she says, and then the um, you slice the lemon in half. Okay, I'm back. So I'm now back to my beginning colors. Slice the lemons in half and then slice them, each of the halves, in 4 pieces like wagon wheels. So round instead of like, flat like a trough or something. And same thing here, same thing as the first one. There has to be a right and wrong to this because I can't get it quite lined up. Maybe I'm just too. Okay, and then you add you put that in the food processor and food process it until it's mush. She said that was the technical term. And then that's the lemon. Of course, you've removed the seeds. I forgot to tell you that. Don't do the seeds. There we go. Ooh, beautiful. I mean, seriously. Okay, Amy, this was my aha moment. Yeah, sticky hot in New Jersey. It's hot everywhere. I think, do we believe global warming exists? Yes, we do. And then it's a half a stick of melted butter because everything she makes has butter. Everything has butter in it. And a cup of sugar and 4 eggs. And you beat that all together in a food processor until it's well mixed. And then you bake it in a 350-degree oven. Oh, you pour it in the pie crust, of course. And you bake it in a 450-degree oven. So I'm just using Daffodil Delight on these little liney things for 40 minutes until it's set and brown. And then you take it out, you put it in the refrigerator when it cools down, and then you serve it with whipped cream. How could you go wrong? I mean, so hopefully it's going to be cool enough when I serve it because I needed something hot. No, we don't believe in glowing warm. It's just a hot summer. It's so, how hot is it? It's just got so hot so early that I'm just thinking this is weird. So I'm lining up this on this left edge where the straight edge. I'm just lining that up kind of on the edge of the envelope, just to make my. Sometimes I struggle with what to put on the front and not redo the whole thing I just put on. So, but I kind of like these. I could have made them in an X too. Anyway, so that is that. That is my card, and I have given you the Joanne Fluke easiest lemon pie ever recipe. So I guess like we used to think. Yeah, exactly. So there we go. That is that card. Don't forget that there is a bundle sale going on now. The Round We Go bundle is back in stock, as is the Spotlight on Nature, which I have which is definitely on my list of things to buy this month. And I have another blog post come. Oh, this will be on my. I should have said this in the very beginning. This will be on my blog on Tuesday. The instructions are already written. Everything's ready to go. And we so you will just. It's such an easy card. You can make several of them. And then I have another blog post on Thursday this week, and I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to say because it's really hot in this room. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Mary, and thank you, Carol, for being here. And for anybody else who is hiding in the wings, thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you. And if you're coming in on the replay, thanks for coming in and sharing part of your day with me. Have a great day, and I will talk to you next Sunday, the 30th, right? Wow, the 30th already. Holy moly. And next week we're doing another 4th of July, a 4th of July box is what we're doing next week. Okay, see you later. Thanks for stopping in.